It's that time again. No, not time for the Wheel of Morality. It's time for the questions that you guys asked me. Wow, that was a terrible intro. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I'm going to start with questions from Manic Expression, which is a site I post my videos on quite often. First one, Tikkun the Unusual Wordsmith III, who comments on every single video I ever post. Do I know of any classic or modern animation films or shows aimed at older views and for the most part can be good taste? Yeah, there's a lot of those. I mean, you can go by the old standbys. There's Batman the Animated Series. There's Gargoyles. A lot of you know, family films, often aimed, you know, towards adults as they are with kids. You know, a lot of early Don Bluth films. A lot of Disney films. Pixar kind of started out that way. But yeah, there are many. There's a lot. You know, you can even go well, if we're talking about in good taste. I don't know if I can mention Ralph Bakshi in that regard, because if you're familiar with his work, oh boy. I mean, that's not to say that everything he did was like raunchy and offensive, but you know, there was like he did that Christmas in Tattertown thing that I reviewed, and that is aimed towards kids, but there's a lot. I think there was a lot in that for adults as well, especially with the references to a lot of the classic cartoons. And you know, not like I said, not everything of his is like hugely offensive, like Fire and Ice. I feel like maybe a kid could watch Fire and Ice and not be too traumatized by it. I mean, there was his adaptation of Lord of the Rings, which is you know, as terrible as the motion capture was in that. It's, you know, it's not nothing about it was in bad taste. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the guy, but his work is not for everybody. So you got to keep in mind that adults are the ones writing for cartoons, and that's how, you know, a lot of adult humor and adult themes would slip by. You know, you watch old episodes of Animaniacs and you're wondering, wow, that really went over my head as a kid, but it's still so funny. It's got great comedic timing, and you know, it's withstood the test of time, at least in my opinion, despite all of its topical references. But yeah, there are a lot of shows and movies that are like that. Ghost Trek. What is my opinion on the new Toonami and Adult Swim? Adult Swim has been, I would say, fairly consistent throughout the years. I mean, they've had some stinkers, but they've had, you know, a lot of really good shows like Rick and Morty, Venture Brothers, Boondocks. I mean, when they're bad, they're really bad. Like, I think their worst show, well, it's actually, now that I think about it, it's kind of debatable, but some of their worst shows, let me say, Mr. Pickles. They had that show Assy McGee, who was like a detective who was nothing but an ass with legs and was so stupid. Anything by Tim and Eric, because most people know my opinions of Tim and Eric. But yeah, when they're bad, they're bad. But when they're good, they're really good. As for Toonami, it's interesting because if I delete the Daily Motion account, like I said I was going to, I'm going to have to bring the rest of Cartoon Clip Show to YouTube. And I actually did a tribute to Toonami, a video tribute to Toonami, and which will have to be edited down a bit because I used a lot of licensed music in that. But the old Toonami was great, and when they brought back Toonami, I thought it was fine. I thought it was nobody really expected it to happen, but they brought it back, and I think the problem was when it first started, they didn't really have a whole lot that I was interested in. It's like, they brought back Naruto. They brought back One Piece. They got reruns of Dragon Ball Z and Cowboy Bebop again. And I like those shows, but it's like, really? I mean, they did bring over a couple of things that I like Space Dandy. One Punch Man is currently airing, which I've seen already, but you know, I'll watch it again in English. But it's gotten better, I would say, at the very least. Still not a fan of Naruto. Don't care. Never cared. Well, maybe I did care at one point, but then I started to realize how bad that show was. Yeah, it's all right as it is right now. It's not as I don't think it's as good as the first run it had, but it's fine. House, who actually has a question this time. Will I please explain what Matt Damon is doing in The Great Wall 2017? I have no idea, House. Honestly, that was the first I had heard about this, and I'm like, I didn't even know this was a movie that was coming out. I was like, even if I did know, I'll be like, who cares? I'm not gonna watch it. What Matt Damon is doing in that movie, I can't tell you. I don't know, but then again, like I said, I don't care about that movie, so I got nothing. Alright, time for the actual YouTube questions. Nathaniel Foga, whatever. Can I do a review on Toonsylvania? It seems that no one ever talks about it that much. I could, if there's enough footage for me to work with on the internet. I kind of have a rule where I need at least a decent amount of footage. You know, I don't need everything. I just need a decent amount, and that's kind of been the challenge, especially when I deal with a lot of obscure stuff. Is just finding footage, and at least decent quality footage, and that's not usually available, despite the internet's ability to just preserve every bit of weird nostalgia as possible. It is possible. Will I do a review on it? It's possible. I could. I have plans for this Halloween already, but I could look into it at least. I actually don't think I ever even watched that show, so maybe next year. No guarantees, but maybe next year. Indigo Delta 383. What celebrities, music, or movie would you like to guest star on or join Steven Universe? Music or movie celebrities to join to guest star on Steven Universe. I don't know. Music, I'm sure there's a lot of possibility with that, because the show has a very strong connection to music. I mean, Rebecca Sugar did a lot of the music for Adventure Time. I don't know. I can't really think of anyone specific. I would like to see them maybe revisit that wrestling episode that was earlier on, and maybe get some actual like pro wrestlers to do some voices on that. Oh God, it's a shame Macho Man's not with us. Garnet! You will feel the elbow when I come off the top rope. I'm the cream of the crop. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if that was a good Macho Man or not, but yeah. I mean, they could. I know John Cena does voice acting every once in a while. They could maybe get him. I don't know if that counts as a movie celebrity. I mean, he's been in movies, but I don't know if that counts as a movie celebrity. I don't know. Let's see. I want to give some music people, but I don't follow music anymore, so I don't know who's big. Outside of people that are already kind of terrible, like Kanye West. Not necessarily his music. I just don't like him. I don't know. Daft Punk on Steven Universe. I think Daft Punk would fit right in Steven Universe. Bruno Mars. I kind of like Bruno Mars. So maybe he can do something. The way Greg is kind of like he was kind of like a 90s musician, so maybe bring in like, I don't know, Eddie Vedder or someone from the... God, I'm suddenly realizing I haven't followed music in forever, because all of my outlets for music have gone away. Like, MTV's been dead for 20 years, and they don't play rock music on the radio anymore, and I just kind of sit with what I like. That's about it. But as for movies, let me see if I can come up with maybe someone good from a movie. Idris Elba, I think he'd fit right in. I would like to see, not to get off topic, but I would like to see for Steven Universe, I want to see some badass humans in that show. The gems are great, but we want to see maybe a human resistance, you know? Earth rules, hashtag Earth rules, you know? maybe have maybe build like a ragtag army of people that have been fighting off like the gems, the mutant, the fusion mutants that have been walking around or something. Maybe have Idris Elba be their leader. Maybe put Matt Damon in there instead of, it seems more appropriate than him being in the Great Wall. So I guess, alright, I guess that's good enough. So yeah, I don't know. Any other celebrities you think would work, put them in the comments section. TMN Isaac asks, do I plan on reviewing an obscure cartoon called Barnyard Commandos? That has been on my list for quite some time. I actually have all 4 VHS tapes, and I even have some of the toys. I have been meaning to get around to it, but here's a little behind the scenes thing. For that particular video, I wanted to introduce a new character, but I haven't had the opportunity to build him. Yes, I have to build him. So, and I would have, if not, I went into some financial problems a while back, and I couldn't make that happen, but donate to my Patreon. Maybe it'll happen at some point. Buddy Smith asks, what toy line am I surprised never got a cartoon? Let's see, toy lines that didn't get a cartoon. There was a toy line in the 80s that I think is very underrated, and it never got a cartoon, and I kind of see why it didn't get a cartoon, because it's kind of, it has very little focus to what it is. They're called the Supernaturals, and I actually have some, and I'm going to probably do, maybe, if I bring back from the toy bin, I might do a video on them. They're this series of like weird characters who had this like dark silhouette where their head and torso is, and there was a hologram inside of them, and there was like this zombie guy, there was this Egyptian character, there was like knights, and there was a character who looked like Thor, and there was all these little creepy hooded guys that came with knives, and it looked cool, but like I don't know how a toy line, I don't know how an animated series for that would have possibly worked, because it was, the theme was just all over the place. It's like medieval knight, Egyptian, zombie, and there was a Native American guy in there. It's like, what? What is this? There were a lot of like Ninja Turtles copycats throughout the 90s. I remember seeing a lot, like pretty much all of them got a cartoon, but there was one that I actually just recently remembered that this existed. There were these toys, they were called Snailians. They were what they sound like. They were snails who were aliens, and they fought these tick characters, and they're these little tiny muscly dudes. They're so hilarious to think about. And they had these like battle armors and these like shells that they threw at people. It was so stupid. Look it up. It's ridiculous. I'm surprised that never got a cartoon, although I'm pretty sure that was probably about the end of the lifeline for Ninja Turtles, so maybe it wasn't really worth it at that point. People have kind of forgotten about those for now, and I think it might be for the best, but yeah, I'd say I could have seen them getting a cartoon, but it might have been a little too late. Dark Mage 1715, what inspired me to start YouTube? My Blip channel got deleted. Yeah, Blip TV apparently decided I was not good enough for them, and they deleted my channel because they did that for a lot of people. They went through phases where they were just eliminating accounts, and I was one of them during their the second wave of deletions for some reason. It doesn't matter now because Blip is gone, so I went to Dailymotion, but Dailymotion wasn't really working out too good, so I decided I'll come to YouTube and I'll start, you know, doing Rob Watches on YouTube, because I didn't require footage for those, like copyrighted footage, so I'll start off on that. And that was pretty much it. I just came to YouTube, but I had been avoiding YouTube because I know what I did wasn't really safe to put on YouTube because of copyright issues. Although the copyright strike I got a while ago kind of proved that that's kind of irrelevant, because I got a copyright strike on my regular movie vlog for the movie The Nice Guys. I've talked about this in a vlog before, and that video has not only one of the least amount of views on my channel, but it did not involve any copyrighted footage, so the system is just kind of broken. So I guess at this point I'm just like, whatever, and I'll probably get rid of the Dailymotion account, bring everything over like I said. But yeah, I came to YouTube just because I got fed up with every other place that I was using, so there you go. Crazed Otter wants to know, do I have any lost videos? I wouldn't say lost videos. Everything I have ever filmed, I keep on a hard drive. So, like when I have stuff that I've not reposted. I have, like vlogs and things that I, like completely irrelevant now. I probably should get rid of those actually. But most of my videos are either on YouTube or on Dailymotion for now. The only video that I've said, and I've said this many times before, I did a review of Tales from Earthsea, the Studio Ghibli movie, the worst Studio Ghibli movie, and that got taken off of Dailymotion, and the Dailymotion being what they are, I can't really dispute the takedown. So that might show up on YouTube anyway. I might try and see. I might upload it just to test and see what happens. But nothing I've done has ever really been lost. I have everything, even the old Rob watches that are irrelevant anymore. Yeah, all my irrelevant videos I still have. I don't know why I keep them, but yeah, nothing's really lost. If you look hard enough, you can find them. Everything I have that I still care about is still on the website, so if you check through my video list on the website, it should be there. CC Sladovnik, I hope I said that right, asks, do I have any pets? Yes, I have a dog. And that'll lead into Schwartzfee's question, can we see your dog? Yes, you can. I'll, actually, you can see my dog at the end of my Hammerman review in the stinger after the credits, when I opened the door for the box and he was standing there. I tried to get him on video, but he doesn't work well. I'll take some footage and I'll put it in over me talking about it. But his name is Harley. He's about 10 years old, and he does not like to be filmed. I really wish I can use him for more videos, but he is impossible to work with. I think it was Hedgehog who said, I don't work with children or pets or animals or something like that. But yeah, he's I wish he was a little bit more obedient so you could see more of him, but unfortunately he just does not care. Autotude, I love that name. If you could live in any cartoon world, what would it be? Oh god, that is I don't know, because when you really think about it, a lot of cartoon worlds are kind of dangerous. At least for a real person. If I did, it would probably have to be like maybe a world where there's a lot of stuff happening, but you can't really get hurt by it. Like maybe like a real Looney Tunes style world. When I was a kid, I was really into Tiny Toon Adventures, and I always wanted to visit Acme Acres. So maybe something like that. We go to we go to Acme University and learn how to be a cartoon character. But yeah, anything else? Maybe like I kind of like the Star Wars universe. I mean, they have cartoons, so maybe I can get up in that. But I guess if I'm gonna do a cartoon world, it's got to go all the way. So someplace really Looney Tunes style. Sounds like a lot of fun, at least in theory. This person always comments, and I can never say your name. Snibdiensen, whatever. Could I review Sonic Underground? I could. Will I? Well, with the way my schedule's been, it's been hard to. It's kind of hard to for me to honor requests because I just don't have the schedule like I used to. This week in particular, work called me in early for several days, and I was actually about to film too, and I was like, ugh, now I can't stay up late and film. Great. So honoring requests is kind of hard. Cartoon clip shows used to be like one a month. Now it's like whenever I have the time. Sonic Underground would make a good review because I've only reviewed one Sonic thing, and that was the anime movie. I would like to talk about Sat AM at some point, but Sonic Underground is just bizarre. Just it's just so strange. It's just I don't know what the deal is giving Sonic the Hedgehog all these weird gimmicks, but yeah, I mean, I'll put it on my maybe I have a list of like stuff people have asked for and stuff I want to look into, so I guess I could put it on the list. No guarantee as to when it'll happen, but God willing, it'll happen. Nathan McFarland, is there any figure that hadn't been made that you want, or any figure that's been made but wasn't very good that I want redone? I would probably, if I had the time machine, I would go back in time and tell the creators of the G.I. Joe action figures and the Masters of the Universe action figures to not put rubber bands in their action figures, because the old 80s G.I. Joe action figures had a rubber O-ring that connected the head, the torso through the hips and onto a hook that held the legs together. And every time I go in my little bin of G.I. Joes in the other room, I always find more of them that where the O-ring has disintegrated. And it's the same thing with the Masters of the Universe figures. They have these like stretchy rubber things in their legs for some reason. And they don't age well. A couple of my Masters of the Universe figures are kind of like, the legs are like this right now, and they can't stand up anymore. I don't know why they used rubber. I mean, they could have very easily put like a ball joint in there or something. In fact, a lot of the re-releases of like the G.I. Joe figures, I think they got rid of those, and they're just kind of, you know, they got like a nice pivot on them. Yeah, if I was to go back and remake figures, it would be just to make them more efficient and maybe give them more lasting power. I know that's not always the intention of a lot of toy makers, but it would have been a lot nicer. I know a lot of the old Thundercats figures toward the end of their lifetime were made with cheaper plastic. Like one of the more infamous ones was Palmyra. If you got a Palmyra figure used, odds are she's gonna have like brown spots all over her arms and legs, and that's from the plastic decaying. And I actually have one, and I went through the time to paint over them. I've actually mixed a perfect flesh color and painted over the brown spots, and now she looks a lot better. But yeah, any figures I wish were made. I remember Linkara reviewing Brute Force, which was a comic that Marvel came up with in the hopes that someone would want to make into action figures, and I would have actually loved those figures. They're cyborg animal crime fighters. This sounds so good. Considering that we have so many anthropomorphic animal crime fighters, I feel like maybe that would have been a nice little welcome change. But yeah, Brute Force definitely could have used a toy line, I think. Sebastian Vilgas, what unrealized Disney projects would you have loved to see? I don't know of a whole lot of unrealized Disney projects. I know Pixar had a movie they wanted to come out with a while ago called Newt, I think it was. It was about a newt who was the pet of a witch or something like that. I don't remember why it was scraped, but I would have liked to have seen what it looked like. I would have probably liked to seen maybe an earlier version of Frozen, because I know Frozen had been in the works since like the days, like long back from the days of Snow White. Like they've been wanting to do an adaptation of that forever, and it turned, you know, the current version, the one that everyone knows, is not. I don't think it's bad. I think it could have been a lot better, you know. So I want to maybe see what a lot of the earlier ideas for Frozen, for the Snow Queen rather, would have been like, because the Frozen is like way off from the original story, and I know Disney's not always accurate with their movies, but Frozen was just like completely different from the Snow Queen. Look up the Snow Queen when you get a chance. I actually remember seeing like a one-shot cartoon of it, I think on Nickelodeon a long time ago, and I've been looking for it ever since. I couldn't find it, but Yeah, maybe an actual more accurate version of the Snow Queen would have been nice, and I would have liked to have seen Newt. I would have seen what that was all about. Raider Rigby, have I seen Red vs. Blue, and if so, would I consider doing a cartoon clip show of it? I saw it a long time ago. I haven't kept up with it in a very long time. It was a very funny series. However, I won't do a cartoon clip show on it because one of my rules is I don't do web series. I don't like to, you know, some people do web series for fun because it's their passion and everything. You know, the way I rationalize it is that, you know, stuff like that I review, like G.I. Joe and all that, they're intended to be a product, you know. When it's online, it feels, there's a lot more freedom, and if there's a lot more passion projects and everything, and it's like, I don't really want to do that, you know. If it can be, I mean, I know they have like DVDs and all that, but yeah, I just don't feel right doing shows from the internet. I prefer, you know, TV, movie, all that. I mean, maybe when I know things are kind of changing right now because Netflix is having a lot of original series. A lot of original series are on YouTube, like Bravest Warriors. You know, a lot of Frederator stuff. Maybe one day when that becomes a little bit more mainstream, I can switch my I could change my rule a little bit, but for now, not at the moment. Dylan Hulme. Have you ever seen Biker Mice from Mars? I have seen it a long time ago. A couple of years ago, I watched the revival, the 2006 revival, and it was about as good as the original. I guess that answers the question. I have seen it. Maybe if I see more of it, maybe I'll do a cartoon clip show on it. I'll put it on the ever-growing list, I guess. Milky Almond, what is my favorite Zelda game? That's a very good question because I've played pretty much all of them. I've even played the... I have it up here. I have the... excuse me, let's see if I can grab these without knocking everything over. I even have the CDI versions, which it's an interesting story how I got those. But yeah, I think I moved the camera. Hold on. I've played so many Zelda games. It basically comes down to A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time, I think, had probably the best overall story and characters, or at least it started to it kind of started that whole thing where they start to characterize people in The Legend of Zelda. Gameplay wise, I'm gonna have to go with Link to the Past because I loved the original Zelda. I played the hell out of it when I had my, well, I still have my Nintendo, but when I got it for the first time, I played it so much. I never beat it when I was a kid, but I beat it as an adult, and I loved it so much. And Link to the Past is very much a very you know, upgraded version of that. So if we're talking gameplay, I guess I gotta go with Link to the Past. Demented MK, what show wasn't fully released on DVD would you most like to see a full release of? Oh my god, I can do a whole video on that. In fact, I was gonna do a video about how cartoons get a raw deal when it comes to DVD releases, but there were so many. Just my most recent cartoon clip show, Extreme Ghostbusters, never got a full DVD release. Men in Black, the series, never got a full DVD release yet. There's a lot that I really would like to watch again, but have not even seen a DVD release, like Mighty Max. I used to love Mighty Max because it was a fun adventure series for kids, and it never got a DVD release. One series that I really would love to see get released on DVD is Fox's Peter Pan and the Pirates. That has never been released on DVD. I think there might be VHS tapes of it, but I heard that because it was made by Saban, and I think, if I remember correctly, Disney acquired Saban, and then because Disney has their own version of Peter Pan, they're probably never going to release that, which is a shame. I mean, they're milking the hell out of Peter Pan, and recently with the Neverland series or whatever, plus There was like the live action movie that was, I don't know if that was Disney, but still. It was such a good show too. I don't even know if you can find it online anymore. If you can, the footage is probably terrible. But yeah, there's so many good things that never got a proper DVD release. Heat XZ. Have you seen the Justice League action cartoon trailer? Yes, I did. I saw it with the Wonder Woman trailer and the Justice League trailer. Justice League looks promising. Wonder Woman also looks promising. Still kind of iffy about them because of Batman v Superman, but we'll see. Maybe they'll get better. Justice League action looks really good too. It has it's more in the art style of like the Justice League Unlimited show, which looks great. I'll definitely watch it when it comes out. I heard that it's gonna have like instead of half-hour episodes, they're gonna be like 15-minute episodes, which I'm not really sure if that's gonna work out for a superhero show. But again, I'm gonna wait till it comes out and see how it is. I think a lot of these people don't speak English. Elijah Butler, what was the recently great anime I saw before I stopped quitting or giving a chance on it? Anime pop culture. I think he's trying to say, what was the last great anime I saw before I gave up on anime? The last great anime I saw was this one right here. Oh wait, hold on, my drink is on top of it. Get out. There we go. I felt like the bottom fell out in like 2006. So this was the last great anime I saw before that. Baccano. I love Baccano. It's so good. It's an anime about like 1930s gangsters in Chicago. It's so cool. It's funny. It's got great characters. This guy right here, who has the most unfortunate name ever, Jacuzzi, is a really great character. I loved his whole crew. I loved Lad. I loved Ennis was really cool. All these characters are great. If you've not seen Baccano, give it a chance. It's one of the few anime that really dragged me in based only on its intro, and that very rarely happens. Yeah, it was really good. Again, I felt like 2006 was like the falling out moment for anime because there was so many good things before that, and then it slowly started to decline, and then, you know, I feel like the jumping the shark moment for anime was Gurren Lagann, because really, like, conceptually, how are you gonna top that? How is anything gonna be great ever again after you see two giant robots fighting in the universe while throwing galaxies at each other? You can't. It's impossible. Yeah, and then there was like Haruhi, which I thought was really good. It had a very interesting mystery story behind it. A lot of great characters, a lot of great dialogue in it. And it's not to say anime hasn't maybe gotten a little bit better. Like, I liked Space Dandy, I liked One Punch Man. And, you know, every, like, once in a while something good comes out that really grabs my attention. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. It never got as good as it did in, like, the late 90s, early 2000s for me. Gamer Guy 94, what is my favorite modern cartoons? Pick 5 that had to be made after 2010. There are quite a few. 2010 felt like more of like a renaissance for animated TV shows, because there was the 2000s were kind of hit or miss, but then there were good things that came out of that. Avatar, Justice League, all that. After 2010, I think it all kind of started with Adventure Time, which I really like, even though the show's kind of in limbo at this point. I liked Regular Show. I think Regular Show is hilarious. Gravity Falls, of course, great show. I love Wander Over Yonder. I like Steven Universe. That's 5 right there, I guess. Star vs. the Forces of Evil, another good one. I really liked Pen Zero Part-Time Hero. People don't seem to give that show a chance, but that's their loss. Yeah, there are a lot of really great shows. Just, you know, if anybody says cartoons aren't as good as they used to be, they're clearly not even trying to look for good shows. But yeah, there's plenty of really great shows. Harvey Beaks, great. Loud House was really good. Amazing World of Gumball's hilarious, and that show just seems to keep getting better every year. Yeah, there's plenty of really good shows. That's more than 5, so I've gone over your qualifications, so there you go. Mass Sci-Fi fan. Since it's been such a great decade for animated shows, which relates to what I was just saying, what do you think the next decade's cartoons are going to be like? I feel like there's going to be more comedy-driven shows coming up, because we had so many shows that put you on this like emotional roller coaster. You know, like Adventure Time did that with the whole Ice King thing. Steven Universe currently doing that. Gravity Falls did it as well. I feel like the feels bubble is gonna pop at some point, and then people are just gonna want more shows like Loud House, and you know, more comedy driven, more slapsticky stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. I love a good comedy. I love slapstick. I was raised on Bugs Bunny cartoons, for God's sakes. So yeah, I feel like that's gonna happen. And then, you know, when the comedy peaks, that's gonna go back down and then come back up, and people are gonna want some more real stuff again. So at least that's how I'm seeing it. I don't know if that's how accurate it's gonna be, but I have a feeling that's how it's going to turn out. Mark Myers, is there too much fan service in anime nowadays? I don't really know. Me and Pinto watch anime we haven't done it in a while, but we watch anime in our Riff show, which should be coming to YouTube as soon as I come up with a name for my second channel. We have definitely seen some pretty fan servicey things. We watched that Everyday Life with Monster Girls anime, and ugh, God. I wouldn't say there's more nowadays. I'd say like ever since that was one of the things that kept turning me off from anime, like around the year 2006, when there was just more and more and more and more fan service, and I just couldn't deal with it anymore. It's just so stupid and cheap, and God. If I was to give you an answer, I would say it's about as much as there's ever been. So I wouldn't say it's more. It's just it's been around a while, and it's probably not going to go away anytime soon. SR Nobody, what shows both recently and past do I feel were canceled either early or too unfairly, or too early or unfairly? Again, I can do a whole video on that. So many. Luckily, the list seems to has been getting shorter lately, because we got Samurai Jack coming back. We got Hey Arnold is going to make a comeback as well. SWAT Cats, they're trying to produce the new shows, the Tremblay Brothers. And then we got like Netflix saying that they want to pick up Young Justice, and I even heard they want to pick up 2011's Thundercats and finish them, and I really hope they do that. Assuming they don't pick up Thundercats, I would like to see them take care of that one. That show got canceled way too soon. Another one that nobody talks about is Symbionic Titan, which was Gendy Tartakovsky's show, the one that no one talks about because Cartoon Network decided to bury that show for no good reason. There's so many other ones. There was a show on Fox during the 90s, during their Marvel shows like Fantastic Four and all the like the Saban shows. There was one for Silver Surfer, which got canceled way too soon. Now, it was because Marvel had been filing for bankruptcy at the time, because they were running out of money, so they couldn't finish the show. But and I would love to review this at some point. I'll throw it on the list, I guess. It ended with basically the universe ending. The series that the last episode produced, the universe had ended, and then the series was canceled. It's like the worst thing ever. I guess it makes sense in a poetic way, but yeah, I would love to have seen more of that. Silver Surfer is actually one of my favorite Marvel characters. It's a shame he'll probably never show up in the cinematic universe, but whatever. Let's see. Pirates of Dark Water was another one. They never finished the story, and like like the second half of the series is mostly filler, which sucks. So they definitely could have finished that. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of shows that needed. I don't know if they can make a comeback at this point, but if SWAT Cats proves they could, then I guess anything's possible. But yeah, there's a lot of shows that definitely need at least some sort of closure for the loyal viewers who are watching. Claudio Lelouch, I believe I said that correctly. Favorite animated villain of all time. Favorite animated villain. I liked Megatron from Transformers Prime. He was a really probably my favorite version of Megatron. Actually, I may like Transformers animated Megatron a little bit better. I liked G.I. Joe Resolute Cobra Commander because he was a badass. I think one of the most underrated villains of all time was Alpha from the Men in Black series because he was insane. He was a former MIB agent who decided that he was going to steal appendages from other aliens and then graft them to his body, which gave him this like. He's essentially immortal. They can't kill him because he keeps regenerating because of, I guess, certain things he stole kind of gave him this regenerative power. So they can't kill him. They have to keep putting him under ice and stuff. He was creepy too. He seemed like a regular guy, and then suddenly he rips the shirt off and all the arms come out, and it's like, ah, God. Yeah, Alpha is definitely an underrated villain. I was going to do an underrated villains list for Cartoon Clip Show a long time ago, but I kind of scraped it. I don't remember why. It might have required a little too much thought, and at the time I try to stick to a schedule, but it doesn't always work. Let's see, anybody else? I like Ratigan from Disney's The Great Mouse Detective. It's voiced by Vincent Price, so how could you go wrong with that? Yeah, like Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty, and I don't even like Sleeping Beauty that much. Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame was a good villain. A lot of Disney villains were really good, even when they don't get a lot of characterization. They still leave an impression on you. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Alpha from Men in Black. He was a really good villain. If you've not seen the episode with Alpha from Men in Black, check it out. He's been in many episodes, but look for the first episode with him. Dave Cameron, do I plan on reviewing Robotech someday? I don't plan to. I wouldn't mind except for the fact that Robotech is kind of a big series. It's kind of a beast to watch, and I've had to sit through a lot of shows that were very long. Cops was one, and I did back-to-back with Jason the Wheeled Warriors, which was 65 episodes each, and that was kind of a mistake. I think a lot of people, remember Robotech well enough that maybe I don't need to review it. I wouldn't mind reviewing some other anime that came out about the time. I'm meaning to get to Saber Rider and the Star Sheriffs because I remember watching that show as a kid, and it's looking back on it, it's kind of a mess. So I don't plan to review Robotech, but it's not impossible. Sammy Girl 8250, have I seen The Secret Life of Pets and the new Ice Age movie? I have not. I kind of missed my opportunity to see them. I heard Secret Life of Pets was pretty good. Despite the aggressive advertising, which kind of put a lot of people off, but I heard for what it was pretty good. So maybe I'll check it out one day. I don't know if I'll do a video on it or anything. As for Ice Age, I have not seen a single Ice Age movie, and I can't believe considering how many there are now that that was possible. But it was one of those series that I kept forgetting existed, and then they come out with Ice Age 3, Ice Age 4, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a thing. Why are they making sequels? I don't know, I guess they're popular enough to get sequels, but No, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see the new one. I guess at this point it'll be hard because I feel like I should watch all of them in order to get the get the intelligent subplots, the intelligent subtext of the series rather. That I would need to understand what's going on. Bok Choy fan 2016. What are my thoughts on Nickelodeon's Sanjay and Craig? Not really a fan, unfortunately. It just doesn't really seem like my kind of show. It just seems like more gross out humor, and God, I hate the character designs of the show. I can't look at them. They're friggin' hideous. They're like the ones from Bob's Burgers, and it's like, I know that's unfair, but you know, your show should at least be aesthetically pleasing to look at if you want people to watch. Just, I can't with it. It's disgusting. I like people who are involved with the show. I like Chris Hardwick. I think he's funny. I like that they got Mark Summers and did a Double Dare episode. That was pretty cool. So, yeah. So unfortunately, not a big fan of Sanjay and Craig. Sorry. And the final question comes from Awesome Anime Fan. What is the worst anime ever? In my opinion, the worst anime ever is Musashi Gundo. It was me and Pinto watched it for our anime riffing series that we did, and god damn, just god, it isn't even a fan service anime, and it's terrible. It was very poorly produced. The storyline was the most generic thing possible. And what made it worse, it was made by Monkey Punch, who made Lupin the Third. And you can tell it was him because he basically recycled character designs for Lupin and Zenigata and Jigen, and he put them into the show. And not only was it bad, just seeing that, it just kind of hurt. So, yeah, worst anime of all time, as far as I'm concerned, Musashi Gundo. Or Gundo Musashi. I don't remember which one it is, but yeah. I don't think you can really find it anymore, but if you do, just keep walking. Just keep going. Just do not pass go, do not collect $200. So, alright, that's about it for the questions. I got some other videos I'm gonna film. So look out for those. I got my review of The Killing Joke coming out. I also have an editorial that I'm gonna try and film. And I gotta film new cartoon clip show, so look out for those. And if I didn't answer your question, I didn't see your question, better luck next time. Get in there real quick, and I'll see your question first. I'm pretty sure I got everybody though. All right, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next 1,000 subscribers.